Hey everybody, welcome back. It's business and it's time to get our ships and giggles on. This is episode 18, and in the most recent patch they did add multi-sampling anti-aliasing. So if you took a look there at how jaggy the Atlanta is, well, crank this baby up to 8 and look at how solid that becomes now. Sweetness. It's about damn time this was added to the game, because I gotta tell you, FXAA just, yeah, it wasn't doing it for me. But you know what has been doing it for me? I know, sorry, that was a really lame segue. The Montana, alright? I've been playing the Montana a fair bit, and still one of the main requests I have when playing Two Brothers, especially as a battleship, well obviously as a battleship, is to get scouting over the center. Because if you can pop shots off at enemy ships that are unsuspecting and going broadside, or like even if they're power forward, just to kind of scare them a little bit, great. But if you could do 23,355 damage to the side of an Atago, that's even better. And my follow-up salvo against another Atago looks like it's going to be okay as well, and that ends up being 34,000 damage. So, really good start to this match. And then later on, I had to turn around because obviously we're losing, and, you know, typical shit when it comes to World of Warships lately, but managed to get 32,800 damage against the Yamato. That feels like justice. But my favorite part of this match, we did lose, by the way, was this moment. Kagero has about 14,000 health. Now he has none. Just booyah. And that, my friends, is the power of battleship AP against destroyers. I mean, bow forward, these guys just, I'm sorry Cyberknife, by the way, I know you're gonna have a message in the chat as my secondaries finish you off right there, but my god, you cannot discount the power of battleships when you're closing in on them at this tier with AP, especially when you're talking about a ship that has 12 shells to throw at you. Look at this Khabarovsk, damn near full health. I'm waiting for him just a little bit. Here come the shells. There goes 17,516 hit points, just like that. And now he's gonna smoke up and be like, "Well, fuck this. I'm not taking part in this fight anymore." So, you know, just one of those things again. I've preached it time and time again. Gotta roll AP when they're bow forward like that. It makes a massive difference. And actually, with the high tier DDs, even if they go broadside, you gotta roll AP. I think it's the best option in pretty much any situation. And you gotta get that guaranteed damage because, like I said in the previous match, well, not the previous match, but the previous video, destroyers are the most important target other than a carrier. You know, but you're going to run into a destroyer far more often, obviously, and far more early in the match than you will a carrier. But my god, you got to take the chance to get rid of destroyers no matter what class you are. So take the chance. And there goes a Shimakaze, and this is actually one of the more fun matches I had played in a long time at tier 10. So it's myself and Matt Q in his Des Moines, and we have Pope Shizzle in his Yamato off to my right. So if you're paying attention to the team panels and the minimap, they don't have destroyers anymore. What they do have over here though, and this is where the majority of their team has positioned themselves, is a Yamato and a Montana over here. I believe there's a couple Hippers as well as a Bismarck and a North Carolina, so on and so forth. There's a lot of shit, but another double Citadel on the Yamato. Things are feeling pretty good lately against Yamatos with the Montana, so I'm definitely enjoying that. But this, well, we have an Ibuki with us as well, so he's throwing torps down, and that's kind of preventing these guys from moving forward because they know that there's a torp capable ship over here, and obviously you don't want to be the first one to go out and to eat all those torps. Although it does look like that Montana came damn close to taking the torp there, and he definitely lucked out. So it was around close to this point that I'm like, you know what, screw this. I'm starting to go forward here, and I'm kind of holding back my speed just a little bit because I want to see if that Ibuki is going to get more torps off, and at some point I just say screw it and I'm going to push in full tilt. And you know, we have a 300 point lead. They don't have destroyers anymore, and we still have 2. And our team is coming back from the other side. We have all 3 caps. This is exactly the situation where, regardless of what ship you have, it's a good time to push. And it's also really good to have a little bit of luck on your side, and you'll see what I mean here in just a second. But I aim at the Montana, get a Citadel against him, so about 18,000 damage there, and I'm keeping my bow towards these guys, but I have to be mindful of the other ships that are to the south behind the island, all 4 of those ships, because they can completely nuke me here in just a moment. But amazingly and inexplicably, the Yamato shot at the Ibuki instead of me. So I double sit him and kill him, and now it's full tilt mode here, and I've got to try to beat the enemy Montana's reload while keeping myself angled against the rest of the ships. Line him up, and there goes 38,000 health with a triple Citadel, and now it's time to have some fun. And these guys are adamant that I need to die. So there's another hipper to the back, a hipper to the left, and the Bismarck. Both of those two actually collide, which is really interesting. But there's torpedoes coming in from that side there, from my team, which causes them to kind of screw up their position here. And I bring my rear turrets around. This is do or die, obviously, and I'm amazed I don't get killed there. I fire my rear turrets at the North Carolina and my front turrets at the Bismarck and get 22k against him. Meanwhile, I have the on my port side, I have the hipper, who is obviously holding on to his torpedoes just to make sure that he doesn't hit any of his teammates, which is good fire control, of course. But then I finally died to his torps, and frankly, that's how tier 10 ought to be. I mean, that is fucking awesome. And Pope Shizzle eventually goes down there too, but wow, that was fun. That was so much fun, just to be able to recognize the opportunity and seize it. So I'm going to channel a little bit of my USS Johnston, and I'm in the Fletcher after all. And I'm going to be in a really bad situation here against this Iowa, who I thought was going to head south and try to, you know, avoid the... I don't know, there was a Pensacola down there. I thought he would push south and chase after him and try to knock him out, and that would open him up for my torpedoes. Unfortunately, I guessed wrong, and not only that, my smoke is starting to dissipate, and I'm looking around here. I realize I have no help whatsoever, so I'm relying on the Iowa to just choose another target. This is, and thankfully he just fired, so I've got 30 seconds here to fight against his turret rotation here. So I'm going to charge right at him and try to maximize the difference between my speed and maneuverability versus his turret traverse, and that is a hell of a gamble. I mean, this is butt-clenchingly close. And I didn't even know if his rear turret was facing me, but thankfully I just glided right underneath that, and he didn't fire at all. The problem is my torps weren't reloaded there at all, so there I was stuck with, you know, the perfect opportunity to get rid of an Iowa, and unfortunately I didn't have my torpedoes at the ready. Now, this guy, though, I gotta give him props. He sees an opportunity there to inflict some significant damage against the Bismarck, and he does that after one of my torps hits by ramming the shit out of him. I didn't see that one coming at all. I didn't even know the Bismarck was there, so wow. Ah, the Turpits. This had been treating me pretty well, and then really bad, and then pretty well again. But beautiful skin by Tans, and I just wanted to point out, I have the premium skin on this, but I have it transparent as I adjusted the Camo XML file, which I am including in the description below. All you have to do is go to your World of Warships folder, where you have the game installed, go to the Res Mods folder, and then the current version, so which would be 5.14.1. So you go into that folder and you drop the file in there. That's it. I would recommend that you go in there and mess around with some of the colors and stuff. I'll provide a link that shows some of the ideas behind it and how the game registers those changes, and I went through, it took about 4 hours. I got it updated for the current patch and everything, so I'll probably be releasing this every now and then, but I certainly suggest trying different colors out for yourself, as far as, you know, the US ships, the premium camos and things like that, because it's pretty fun to me, and I just want to give a little bit more flair to the game itself, because I think it looks pretty damn cool. So I do just want to stress, I am not your tech support. This is as simple as it gets, but I'm not your tech support. It's really straightforward, and you know, I'm not responsible for anything you do to screw up the game. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, the Tirpitz has been played quite a bit by me lately, because I had my Bismarck captain that I put in the Friedrich. So I dropped that one in the tier 9, and oh, destroyer. Gotta shoot the destroyer, screw the broadside battleships, and get 5 overpens, naturally. And suddenly, a Wild Bliss appears on my starboard side, so son of a bitch, I'm hoping that I'm not going to run into torpedoes here, but the Tirpitz, I've been trying to work that guy up, that captain up, to be able to drop him into the Bismarck, and then I'm going to have, you know, that captain be my Bismarck and Tirpitz captain, and I can take it from there. The Friedrich captain will eventually go in the Kurfürst, and I don't expect that I'll be keeping the Friedrich, but I'll probably still have it in my port, because obviously with 100 ships already, why would I say no to that? And also because it costs so damn much, I might as well just keep it. So I actually landed the Torp on the Bliss, amazingly. So he was foolish and decided to stay where he was. We got a little brawl thing developing here. Our team's been very aggressive with, once we capped C, we immediately took over C here, or I'm sorry, B, and that is how this map should be played. You know, choose A or C, get that as fast as you can, and get to the middle and secure as much map control as you possibly can, because that is how Land of Fire is won nowadays. And Citizen kind of ran in front of me there, but the torpedoes, while they didn't hit, they did provide us an opportunity to deliver a shitload of damage to this enemy Bismarck, because he had to turn broadside. And again, that's one of those things that I've constantly gone over, is, you know, you don't have to have your torps hit to be able to control the situation. You know, doing the damage is great, and it would be awesome if those torps would have hit and knocked him out, but it's just as good to get him to turn broadside for all of our guns to be able to lay into him. And now an Amagi is turned broadside, and he's just close enough to be able to throw my torps down towards him. And you know, a lot of different wheels are working here, but Citizen is laying into this guy as well. Gets a little bit of damage. I'm bringing my rear turrets around, line him up, and not quite what I was hoping for, but I'll take 9,000 damage. I mean, Germans, you know, just, you can't trust these guns at all. So get the Confederate there, and it looks like the torps are going to find their mark, and sure enough they do. So I know there's a destroyer over here, I just don't know exactly where he is, and suddenly we start seeing those torps thanks to the spotting from the bombers. And so there's the Sims, and there's a Kutuzov here as well. So I'm going to start trying to separate my turrets a bit so I can try to set up a double strike. As you can see, I get a little bit of separation between the front and rear. I get the Sims right there, and line this guy up. I see he's starting to turn in just a little bit. I'm hoping the shells get there in time, but nope. 2 overpens. Now this was kind of funny, because there's a battleship and a cruiser that are going up towards the top left part of the map where the enemy ranger was last spotted, and instead of going after them, I mean, this guy's dead, I mean, there's no doubt about that, right? But instead of going after them, the enemy dive bombers start engaging me. So I thought that was kind of curious, but yeah. And I think at some point he sends his torpedo bombers at me too, which that's just dumb. Now jumping to a ship I haven't really covered all that much. I mean, aside from one other instance on the Ships and Giggles episode, the Bliss. We did have a Leningrad that got detonated by our Congo, which was a huge help because he was pushing up the flank really fast. But as you can see on the mini-map there was a destroyer that was spotted. I know it's the Mayhan, and he is moving up at somewhere. I don't know exactly where he is, and I am pushing over, trying to cut as sharply to the west as I can to try to use my my detection, my concealment, and also the map border to be able to find out where he is, because you know you're reducing the area that he can actually be hiding. There is a Miyoko and a bunch of other ships moving up, and that's when the Mayhan finally shows up. So I'm hard pressed to say I'm confident when using the ship, because I just feel it's a bit sluggish on the turret traverse and the rudder. It just doesn't feel very nimble to me, and I find it to be somewhat, how to put this, I guess a bit ungainly with the overall handling of the ship. So the Miyoko is deciding to fire at me as well, so I gotta pop my smoke and try to create some sort of barrier of the concealment between myself and him. And it looks like my torps are gonna hit. But no, that's not the case. And I knew the torps would be coming, but I wasn't anticipating it to be that damn close. Thankfully, I was able to dodge those, but he does have 2 more racks remaining. And with the way the Mayhan is set up, it's a very curious arrangement with the center line torps being the first ones, I believe, to be launched, and then either the port or the starboard side. So it can kind of make it a little awkward if you wanted to throw down like your port side torps and then turn around and throw down 2 more sets of torps. You can't do that with that ship. It's always the center line first, which is kind of unfortunate, because that would certainly give it a little bit more strength in the you know, in the position where it's fleeing. But I decided to charge the smoke and get up close and personal against the Mayhan. He was at a stop, curiously. I wasn't expecting that, and managed to completely and very widely avoid the torps there. So I was happy about this situation. I just need to get him killed so I can get away from the proxy spotting, which is now gone. But I jump out of the smoke and I'm spotted. So now it's a matter of trying to get the hell away from this Miyoko, because I do not want to have anything to do with this guy at all. And that's about the time I get detected by air. These goddamn planes, man. So I have Lord of Face and his Flint coming back as fast as he can, as well as Mac Q in his Bliss. So, which I gotta say is one hell of a division as far as the gunboats and the overwhelming power of the and flexibility of the Flint. Which I'm honestly not sad that I didn't play ranked again. I don't need to play ranked. I don't want to have anything to do with that. I don't care what ship is being offered. But we have a Cyclone set. And now we have a bunch of enemy battleships, and that whole blob of red that was to the south is now up here, and it's up to 2 destroyers and a cruiser to fight them all off. So I'm going to be engaging the Kirov because I'm hoping by switching to AP I'm going to be able to get some Citadel action here. But really lately, and I mean I know that Sal is certainly too high, but lately I really haven't been able to do very much against Kirovs and a few other ships. You kind of get like an ebb and flow against certain ships you do really well against, and then others you just can't do a damn thing. But a Koenig managed to take a lot of torps there, and now we have the Congo moving in. Mac Q is up to the north here, and he's spotting for us a bit, so I'm telling Lord right now not to move forward so I can launch my torps and try to hopefully hit this guy in the nose, and if not, just control him a bit so he can't get all of his guns to bear when the smoke dissipates. The Kirov gets burned down by Lord of Face, and sure enough, the Congo splits the torps. And again, like I said, it was just a really good thing that he wasn't able to bring all of his guns to bear on Lord, and the 3 of us are holding these guys off pretty damn well, I think. I get another fire on the Congo, and we have torps coming in against both him and the Koenig, which gets taken out right there as well. And the 3 of us did a hell of a job defending there. So back to the turpits though. And I gotta say, the new gun sounds on the battleships are awesome. So this is the most recent footage I have, and that is a very, very dead New Orleans. Just right off the map. The team chat is awesome. I mean, that guy must be pissed, but I'm not sorry at all. That was glorious. You do not get that enough, and certainly not against the New Orleans. That certainly is one of those situations that I have a hard time hitting New Orleans for any meaningful damage, but to lob it right over an island like that and have them just clear them out completely, I'll savor that, man. Yeah, you can't tell me those don't sound more battleshipy. I guess that's a way to say it. But another citadel, yay! And we got a little funny situation here where the Lexington gets, like, I don't know why he was pushing up, but now he gets blocked by the Fuso that I just citadeled. So in the event that the carrier is up close, and I didn't want to really do much against this Turbits, I wanted to see if I could take out the what is now the most dangerous target available to me, which is the Lexington. I wanted to try to inflict as much damage as I could and see if I could citadel him off the map, which not quite what I was hoping for, but I did get some solid damage there, trying to aim a little bit high there in case he starts to drift away. But yeah, I will have a stream today with World of Warships. I think I have an appointment at 2 o'clock at my time, obviously, so I'm not entirely sure if that's still holding up, so I just wanted to mention that. But there's a Chapiev, there goes a Chapiev, so another devastating strike, sweet. But I will be streaming at some point, probably in the mid-afternoon, early evening, so just feel free to check Twitter. I'll give you guys a heads up on that. But thanks for watching today. I'm gonna have the Bismarck overview as my next World of Warships video, and that should be on Thanksgiving, and I will be working diligently to make sure that is the case. But thank you for watching today, guys, and I'll see you back here soon. Take care.